Recording in progress.
Hello and good afternoon. I am Reverend Twyla Reece. I am coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. On Sunday mornings, we meet at 305 West 26th Street, and I am so pleased to be able to be here with you virtually in this moment. We are a part of the Unity Worldwide Ministries with our headquarters at Unity Village, Missouri, which is Lee Summit, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City, part of that worldwide teaching. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were our founders back in the late 1800s. And today I would like to share with you about power. Charles Fillmore, who I just shared his name as one of our founders, created a system, intuited a system, prayerfully came up with this system that he called the 12 powers, our 12 faculties of being. And they are, let me turn to that page, they begin with faith, strength, judgment, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, renunciation, and life. And Charles talked about these being centers in our body. Faith, the top of the head. The Christ consciousness, the Christ light is our crown chakra. They correlate with the chakra system, where there are 7 of those. There are 12 of the powers, and they are faculties within us that are innate, that are just a part of who we are, and have to do with specific places in our body where we can feel depleted, or if we take time to put focused attention and meditation and prayer, we can enliven those faculty areas and bring about the aid of our concentrated thought on fulfilling our lives, of tapping into that source of power within us. 12 powers, you can look it up. Charles Fillmore, 12 powers. They have to do with a color system with the 12 disciples. Each color has a disciple associated with it. Power is Philip. The location of the faculty of power is our throat. And I have found in my study and in my experience that when I use this 12 power system, my life finds an alignment. It comes into an order that is so significant in creating a world that works for me. And that's really what unity is about, is creating a world that works for each individual person, creating a world that works for everyone. But today I want to talk a little bit about the power of power, the faculty of power. I had an opportunity this week to be in Santa Cruz, California, and go to the mystery spot. Now, if you are a local California person, perhaps you have been there in Santa Cruz. The mystery spot is a location right there in town. It's right on the outside of town. That is 150 square foot diameter location that defies gravity. Yes, it does. It truly does. And nobody really knows why. Why? I understand that there's a similar place in Nevada, another place in Oregon, But at the mystery spot in Santa Cruz, California, when you walk into the dimension that this phenomena is, you actually defy gravity. Your body leans over. There's a pendulum that hangs, but it doesn't hang straight. It's always hanging at an angle. Water runs uphill. Balls run uphill. It's fascinating and wonderful. So as I was visiting this area this week, I thought about power and the activity of the power that we hold. The universe is an energetic force. It's a vibrational force. In unity, we don't talk about God being a an entity, a person, right? We don't anthropomorphize God. God is presence. God is source. It's hard to say what God is because every time we put a human word to what God is, then in some degree we're limiting what that source of energy is. Does that make sense? In unity, we don't teach a physical heaven, we don't teach a physical hell. We teach that we create our own heaven and our own hell. It's a matter of consciousness. It's a matter of paying attention and again, creating a world that works, to coming into alignment with that ever present source of God slash that source of good. In unity, we always talk about there is only one presence, one power, God, the good. God is omniscience. God is omnipotence. God is omnipresence. We cannot be separated from that source in any way, shape, or form. It is a vibrational journey, a vibrational experience. So I want to read you this quote by Nikola Tesla, the famous scientist and inventor and engineer. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of existence. Let me read that again. Nikola Tesla, a man way ahead of his time. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, whatever your belief system, if you step back and you think about it, where do you connect with the God of your understanding? Is it through your head, through your intellect, or do you have that deep connection by connecting with your heart? The beating heart, the vibrational force of our being, right? If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The world is amazing. I shared this morning pictures of different energetic phenomena. One, I shared pictures of the mystery spot. And in this picture, the people are standing, leaning. They are leaning. It's hard for me to explain. It's something you almost have to experience. When you walk into that area, especially in these two rooms in this little building that they built within the the diameter of the anti-gravity spot, your whole body just gets so heavy. It gets so heavy. They have different rafters that you can hang off of, and some of the people would, and they have pictures all over the place on the internet. You can find, if you look for Santa Cruz Mystery Spot, of people hanging on these bars. And when you hang straight up and down, right? Unless you swing, unless you make yourself swing forward and backward, right? Then you can get some elevation, right? But no, you're standing, you hold on to the rafters, and your legs just swing up all on their own. It's way cool. There is more going on in this universe than what we can understand. Scientists work and delve and do, and right? It's a phenomenal place, this world. It just truly, truly is. This world, this universe, and we are not the only universe, right? How can we ever limit our God? So that was one of the images that I shared. And the other one was an image that I've seen before. It's called fire lightning. And I know I'm not showing the images here, but you can look them up. Fire lightning. It's beautiful. Instead, or maybe it's called the fire rainbow. Can't remember which one it is. Fire rainbow. I think it's called the fire rainbow. I said that wrong this morning if any of you are listening, but a fire rainbow. So instead of having your arc of the rainbow, it's just this amazing rainbow color pattern with spikes and what looks like flames. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. Another image that I shared was of drops of water, that two drops of water, and they look like stained glass angels, but it was speeded up photography. Photography accelerated to the point that you see these drops of water and they look like stained glass angels. So much that goes on in our world that is not always we're able to see with the naked eye, right? So why am I sharing this? Power, 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 right? We are powerful beings. We live in a powerful universe. And because we are one with that universe, we also have power within us that we can remember to use, that we can tap into, that we can connect with. The truth is, it is always right there. We just simply have to take the time to connect with that power. With that power from Second Timothy, excuse me, 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline. God did not give us a spirit of fear. We did that all on our own. But through the source of all being, we were given the spirit of power, of love, of self discipline, of choice, put another way, freedom of choice, free will, to use in a way that works for our highest good and for the highest good of our fellow human beings, not to use from a place of selfishness, greed, but of a place of generosity, of love, of giving. If ever it is, it looks like it's coming from a place of selfishness, of greed, of having power over someone or something, that is not your higher self. That's your egoic self. That's your egoic self speaking out, working from fear. For God gave us a spirit of power and love, of choice, not of being selfish and cruel to other people, but to always work for the highest good of all, right? That's what I think. And why do I think that? Because that's what feels right. That's where my heart expands. Sharon Connors, in her book, Adventures in Resilience, she's a unity minister, another book on the 12 powers. She says, divine power is our unstoppable resilience. It gives voice to our thoughts. What we give voice to vibrates throughout the body. Like our thoughts, our words are non local and generate a response from the universe as well as our internal world, both inward and outward. I did that wrong, both inward and outward, right? It's non local, it permeates everything around us. We may think that what we're thinking stays in our head. Not necessarily. It vibrates. It vibrates out into the world. Our actions vibrate out into the world. Power is the instrument of creativity that generates forward momentum in every area of our lives. William Warch, in his book, How to Use Your 12 Gifts from God, talks about the lower the frequency of vibration, the more pure is the thought. So I want you to think about this for a moment, because sometimes we want to think, but we need to be high energy. We need to be go-getters. We need to go do, right? And be. And there's a time and place for all of that. But where do you get your deepest inspiration? Is it in a highly kinetic atmosphere? Or is it in a place of silence? So think about this for a moment, because you might think, yes, it comes from high energy and from that activity of moving forward and go. But there's a breath that happens between all of that high energy thought. And it is in that breath where there is a great creative spirit. So you've got, a couple different ways to go. You could be high energy, you could be high focus, you could be moving and grooving. But within all that busyness, there's still a moment of breath. There's still a moment where I think it was Deepak Chopra, it said a lot of different places where there's the gap between every thought. There's a gap between every state of being and doing. There is a gap. And what happens in that gap is powerful. It is so powerful. So even if you think you're not being still, there's still that phenomena of space that is allowing for the clarity to come through what seems like a miracle. Oh my gosh, it was a miracle. Well, no, it might have just been the gap. It might have just been the breath where you allowed for that consciousness of source energy to come together. Does that make sense? Just ponder that for a while. And then, of course, is the place where you are still, where you do come from that quiet inner place, right? That peace be still. Peace be still. It can work both ways. You get to choose. And you can do, of course, both. It's a both and. But find that place within you where you can replenish, work from your power and replenish your power, right? So today I want you to know that you are divine power. You have that faculty of God's source within you that energizes you, that vibrates through you, that you can call upon when you're feeling depleted, when you're feeling afraid. If you're not feeling well in any way, you can call upon that divine flow of power. Pray knowing that you are divine power, that you are formed, that you move, and that you also rest, that you can call it forth to animate you, and that you can call it forth to be divinely guided. Peace be still. Peace be still. I'm not going to take the time to read this to you because it's a little long, but I was gifted this week by finding a friend sharing with me the poetry of John Rodell. John Rodell, ROEDEL.com. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on his webpage. Oh my gosh, he is such a wonderful poet. And through his inspirational poetry, oh, the beauty of allowing that divine power that works within us with our overactive thinking and sometimes our overfeeling heart to learn to become still and to listen to our gut, to listen to our intuition. And from that place of listening from our intuition, to allow our breath to come forth and to breathe us, to keep us in the present moment so that we can be still enough to experience that divine faculty of power. You are divine power. Know that and go forth. Thank you for finding Unity and Merced, and bless you on your way. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.